Okay, so what if I told you that the biggest, most mind-bending ideas in modern physics aren't actually new? What if they were written down thousands of years ago in ancient spiritual texts? Well, today we're going to dive into the absolutely incredible parallels between the strange world of quantum mechanics and the timeless wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita. Let's just start with this quote. It's from Erwin Schrödinger, one of the founding fathers of quantum mechanics. Now, you'd think that came from a mystic, right? Not a physicist who won a Nobel Prize. And that one sentence, wow, it just opens up a rabbit hole where cutting-edge science and ancient philosophy seem to line up almost perfectly. So let's jump right down that rabbit hole. And our first stop is a big one, the nature of consciousness itself. And you gotta understand, for Schrödinger, this wasn't some casual hobby. He was a deep, serious student of ancient Hindu texts like the Vedas. As his own work in quantum physics started revealing a world that just defied all common sense, particles being in multiple places at once, reality changing just by being looked at, he actually found a framework for these bizarre ideas in this ancient philosophy. So Schrödinger takes all this in and comes to this just radical conclusion. He came to believe that the feeling we all have of being a separate I, a unique individual self, is fundamentally an illusion. Because from a purely scientific view, he just couldn't figure out how you could have a plurality of consciousness. To him, there could only be one. And this is where that idea came from. This is a core teaching of the Upanishads. The idea is that your individual self, your soul, what they call Atman, isn't just a tiny part of the universal consciousness, or Brahman. No, it's that they are one and the same. They are identical. The feeling of being separate is the great illusion. It's a perfect philosophical mirror to the unified reality Schrödinger was starting to glimpse through the lens of physics. All right, let's switch gears a bit. We're going to go from the inner world of the mind to the vast outer world of cosmic time. Today, we've got these incredible telescopes that can peer to the very edges of the universe. We have particle accelerators that can basically rewind time to the first moments of creation. And with all this amazing data, we figured out pretty precisely how old everything is. We feel like we've got a solid handle on deep time. But here's where it gets wild. It turns out that ancient Hindu texts weren't just thinking about this same question. They were doing it on a scale that is just breathtaking. They weren't thinking in thousands of years or even hundreds of thousands. No, they were thinking in billions. Take a look at this. 8.64 billion years. That is the length of a single day of Brahma. It's one cosmic cycle of creation and dissolution in Hindu cosmology. I mean, that's just an almost unimaginable timescale. And it was conceived thousands of years ago. And this wasn't lost on modern scientists. The legendary astronomer Carl Sagan himself was completely struck by this. He pointed out that of all the world's great religions, Hinduism is the only one whose ancient cosmology even operates on timescales that are in the same ballpark as modern science. So let's put them side by side. Our best modern estimate for the age of the universe is about 13.8 billion years. The day of Brahma is 8.64 billion years. Now, are they the exact same number? No, of course not. But that's not the point. The point is they are astoundingly of the same order of magnitude. One came from ancient texts, the other came from satellite data. It's an incredible convergence of thought across millennia. Okay, for our final theme, we're going to bring it back from the cosmos, right back to you. We're going to explore one of the most powerful and profound ideas in the Gita, the difference between the observer and the observed. This is such a great metaphor. I want you to think about your life for a second. All the action, the feelings, the thoughts, the drama. The Gita suggests that your true identity, it isn't the character running around on the field. It's the silent awareness that is simply witnessing all of it unfold. And the Gita actually gives us specific names for this. There's kshetra, which means the field. That's everything you experience, your body, your thoughts, the whole material world. But then there's the kshetrajna, which means the knower of the field. And that is the real you, the observer. So think about it like this. The field is all the stuff that's always changing, right? Your body ages, thoughts just pop in and out, the world is in constant motion. But the knower, the observer, that's defined as the one thing that is unchanging. It's the quiet, stable screen that the movie of your life is playing on. And here's the real kicker. The Gita claims that the entire path to wisdom, to freedom from suffering, is really just about learning to tell the difference between these two. It's that profound, powerful realization that I am not my thoughts, I am not my body, I am the consciousness that is aware of them. Which, of course, brings us to the big question at the end of all this. We've seen this idea of a singular consciousness, cosmic timescales that are billions of years long, and this deep division between the observer and the observed. So, are these just amazing coincidences? Brilliant people separated by thousands of years, just happening to land on similar metaphors? Or could it be that both modern physics and ancient wisdom are catching glimpses of the very same single underlying reality? That is something to think about.